people in Vietnam. I don't like disorder in my room. Hand over the ice pick. It's impolite. Thank you.
I'm in charge of this class. You fuck with me, and you will suffer my wrath.
The story begins with Jonathan Shale, a highly skilled mercenary and former military operative. After carrying out a mission alongside his elite team, they uncover a shocking truth: the operation was unauthorized and illegal. As a consequence, the entire unit is discharged, stripped of their assignments, and removed from command. After the team broke up, each member went their own way. Now, out of work, Shale returned to Miami to rest and decide what to do next. Meanwhile, the story shifts to the lively city of Miami, where Jane Hetzko, a devoted high school teacher, is in the middle of class, completely focused on helping her students in what appears to be a calm, safe setting. The calm atmosphere quickly falls apart when chaos breaks out on campus. A violent fight erupts among the students, but it's clear this isn't just a random scuffle, it's a planned ambush targeting one student. Despite the danger, Jane and Mr. Sherman rush in to stop the fight and protect the student being attacked. Surprisingly, the student they rescued insists he didn't need help, clearly afraid of looking weak after the fight. Jane then turns her attention to Juan Lucas, the one who started it all. He's no ordinary student, but the feared leader of a gang called the Kings of Destruction, or KOD. Speaking with a mix of firmness and care, Jane approaches him like a concerned mother, urging him to think about his future and start making better choices. Jane approaches Juan with genuine concern, encouraging him to think about his future and make better decisions. But Juan responds with hostility, mocking and threatening her, making it clear she should stay out of his business. Shaken by the encounter, Jane and Mr. Sherman immediately report the incident to Principal Claude Roll. Jane and Mr. Sherman urge Principal Roll to take action against Juan and his gang, especially after Jane reveals that Juan threatened her directly. But Principal Roll brushes off their concerns, saying there isn't enough solid evidence to discipline him. Frustrated, Jane storms out, determined to gather proof on her own. After school, as she heads to her car, she's suddenly surrounded by members of the KOD gang and discovers that her car lock has been jammed with what looks like chewing gum, preventing her from getting in. The gang members taunt and harass Jane as she struggles to unlock her car. Juan makes a bold, provocative gesture, but Jane stands her ground, responding with a defiant gesture of her own. Eventually, she gets the car unlocked and drives away, ignoring their insults as she leaves them behind. Back at home, Jane is relieved to find Shale waiting for her. They embrace, happy to be together again after some time apart. Shale shares that he's been discharged from the military, and the two discuss what his next move might be. Soon after, Shale gets a voicemail from a former teammate offering a job that could bring in some income. They agree to meet at a strip club to go over the details. Joey, a trusted former teammate, urges Shale to consider the job and introduces him to a potential client along with a rival named John Janus, who would later try to kill him. Shale quickly realizes the job is about guarding drug shipments from gangs and government agents. Staying true to his principles, he refuses to get involved. By walking away, he sends a clear message: there's a big difference between being a soldier and being a hired gun. The next morning, Jane went for a jog near the beach, unaware that a KOD gang member was waiting to ambush her. He attacked her viciously, breaking her knee. Luckily, Shale was nearby. Hearing the struggle, he rushed over and scared the attacker off just in time. He then took Jane to the hospital. While recovering, Jane shared her belief that the attack was planned and likely linked to someone at the school. She begged Shale to step in and cover for her while she recovered. Shale promised to protect Jane and find out who was behind the attack. While she recovered, he offered to take over her teaching duties, using it as a chance to investigate from the inside. He and his team came up with a plan to infiltrate the school without revealing his connection to Jane. Using the fake name James Smith, Shale applied for a teaching position and was soon called in for an interview. During the interview, the principal came across as friendly and told Smith he'd be starting on a probationary basis. Smith assured him he would do his best to fill in for Jane. While keeping a calm and professional appearance, his real focus stayed clear, finding out who attacked Jane and uncovering the corruption hidden within the school. On his first day of teaching, Smith walked into a noisy, out-of-control classroom. Staying calm,
Good morning, class. My name is Mr. Smith. I will be Miss Hetsko's substitute for the next few days.
he introduced himself and started taking attendance. It didn't take long for him to notice the students' lack of interest in learning and the absence of discipline. Later, in the teacher's lounge, Smith reconnected with Mr. Sherman and met the school librarian, Hannah Dylan. During a brief chat, Sherman warned him that the KOD gang had a dangerous but hidden influence over the school. Hannah shared her belief that the KOD gang was responsible for the attack on Jane and revealed that Juan Lucas was their leader. She even hinted that Principal Roll might be working with them. Sherman defended Roll, saying he was a former police officer who wouldn't do anything unethical, but Smith wasn't convinced. In a private conversation with the principal, he began to notice suspicious details like an expensive gold watch that didn't match a school principal's salary. Their conversation became a subtle battle of wits, each testing the other with carefully chosen words. When Smith mentioned the watch, Principal Roll brushed it off, saying it was a gift from the junior league, and reminded Smith of his control over the students. He hinted that power outweighed justice, leaving Smith even more suspicious. That night, Smith reached out to his former military team and came up with a secret plan to monitor the school. They would install hidden cameras to track the KOD gang's movements and gather evidence. While some team members were hesitant at first, most eventually agreed to join the mission. The next day, during a lesson on the Vietnam War, a student named Tay threw a crushed soda can at Smith. He caught it midair and threw it back, hitting Tay in the forehead, leaving the class stunned. When Tay charged at him, Smith quickly took him down with one swift move. He then calmly approached another student, Rodriguez, who was carrying a sharp object, and firmly demanded he hand it over when the student refused. Smith firmly twisted Rodriguez's fingers, making him drop the weapon, sending a clear message that he wasn't someone to mess with. The room went silent. From that moment on, Smith took charge of the class and slowly began to earn their respect. Tai and Rodriguez reported the incident to Principal Roll, who quickly sent Security Officer Marvin to investigate. But Marvin found the class calm and focused, with students paying attention. He reported back, leaving Roll surprised and deciding to delay any action until class was over. During the lesson, Lacasse, the KOD gang leader, tried to provoke Smith with a subtle threat. But Smith stayed calm and unfazed. At the end of the day, Smith reviewed the hidden camera footage installed by Skids and spotted Principal Claude Roll approaching his classroom. Acting fast, he made sure everything looked normal. When Roll walked in, he warned Smith that some students were planning to file a complaint and suggested he apologize to avoid losing his job. Smith, knowing the law, calmly reminded Roll that a teacher can't be fired without proper procedure and at least 2 weeks' notice. His confidence and firm stance caught Roll off guard. Growing suspicious, Roll ordered a background check, but found only the false records Smith's team had carefully created to hide his real identity. Later, Smith drove Jane home. Inside, she found a heartfelt letter from a few students thanking her and wishing her well. Touched by their kindness, she broke down in tears. Smith tried to comfort her, but the emotional moment sparked a brief argument. Despite the tension, their bond remained strong, and they stayed committed to their shared mission. The next morning, Smith returned to class, ready to teach. Juan Lucas and his gang showed up late on purpose, trying to provoke him. Staying calm, Smith told Juan to write an apology on the board 100 times. Knowing that challenging the teacher openly would only make things worse, Juan reluctantly followed the order. Juan agreed to comply but couldn't resist slipping in a threat. Unbothered, Smith calmly shifted the mood by diving into a meaningful discussion, beginning with a question directed at a student named Jerome. Smith asked questions about the future, personal goals, and how their current choices could affect their lives. Slowly, he began to earn the class's attention. As the students let their guard down, they saw he was pushing them to think beyond street life. The conversation grew emotional and eye-opening, forcing them to face some hard truths. After class, Principal Roll showed up unexpectedly and praised Smith for handling Juan without using violence. He invited Smith to his office after the faculty meeting. But behind the scenes, Roll was secretly plotting with Juan Lacasse to have Smith killed, convinced it was time to get rid of him for good. But Smith was already one step ahead. He watched the meeting unfold through hidden cameras and made a plan. As night fell, he put on a bulletproof vest, took up a strategic position in the library, and waited. When Juan and the group of armed thugs sent by Roll stormed in, a fierce fight broke out. Relying on his military training, Smith took them down one by one and threw each of them out of the library. After Smith took Juan down, one of the gang members grabbed his gun and shot him. Believing he was dead, they prepared to kill the librarian and escape. But Smith suddenly got back up, took out the shooter, and threw him out the window, leaving Juan shocked by his strength. Outside, Roll was leaving the building when he unexpectedly ran into Smith, who acted calm and unfazed, as if nothing had happened. Flustered, Roll struggled to hide his panic while Smith casually asked about the meeting. Caught off guard, Roll gave a vague, nervous reply before quickly walking away, both men keeping their true intentions hidden. Meanwhile, Mr. Sherman visited Jane to offer support and talk with her. During their conversation, he began to suspect that Smith was actually Shale Jane's husband and a former soldier based on things he had observed. As more clues came together, he slowly uncovered the truth. Meanwhile, Joey, one of Smith's teammates, kept a close watch on the KOD gang, especially Juan Lucas, and left Smith a message with details about his location. That evening, they swapped vehicles to avoid being tracked. When Smith got home, a shaken Jane confronted him. She had learned his true identity and the real reason he was at the school, thanks to what Sherman had told her. Smith didn't deny it. Instead, he opened up, explaining that he believed Principal Roll was working with the KOD gang. He told her he was determined to stop them for the safety of the students and to bring the school back on track. The team kept tracking the KOD gang's movements. One day, Joey called Smith to a spot near the docks, suspecting a major drug deal was about to happen. From a distance, they watched as the KOD gang negotiated with a group of buyers. Once the deal was confirmed, they launched a surprise attack. Smith went after the KOD members, while Joey focused on the buyers aboard the boat. Amid the chaos, Holland, a teammate who had originally disagreed with the mission, ordered Bull to take down Smith. A brutal fight broke out between the two, with both landing powerful hits. In the end, Smith overpowered Bull. Impressed by his determination, the others had a change of heart and decided to join him. Together, they took the drug money and dumped the remaining stash into the sea. The next morning, Roll watched the news about the drug bust, still reeling from the shock. He then received a threatening call from the drug kingpin, demanding compensation for the lost shipment. Panicking, Roll rushed to the school to confront Juan, only to realize that Smith had been behind the whole thing. Smith didn't hold back. He proudly announced that all the seized drug money had been used to improve the school and buy free pizza for the students. Just as he finished sharing the good news, Principal Roll stormed in and fired him on the spot. Despite this, Smith had already won the support of the students and Mr. Sherman, who now stood firmly by his side. Sherman offered to help more directly, but Smith warned him to stay careful, suspecting that Roll might be working with the enemy. Although Sherman wanted to believe Roll was innocent, his loyalty clouded his judgment. That night, desperate KOD members and their corrupt allies launched another violent attack on Smith. Sherman's loyalty made it hard for him to see Roll's guilt. That night, desperate KOD members and their corrupt allies launched another brutal attack on Smith. Meanwhile, Mr. Sherman, who supported Smith and opposed the gang, was trying to gather evidence of drug activity in the school's basement. But he was ambushed by Juan, Tallis, and Principal Roll, who was secretly part of the operation. Tragically, Sherman was killed. A student who witnessed the incident gave key information to Smith and the authorities. By morning, word spread across the school and community. To cover his tracks, the corrupt principal working with the KOD gang spread false rumors that Smith was dead, leaving students and teachers grieving and afraid for what lay ahead. Everyone was shocked when Smith suddenly returned alive and well. His comeback sent a clear message to the gang and their allies. The fight wasn't over, and they wouldn't win easily. As tensions rose, Smith confronted Wolson, a hidden KOD supporter. The heated exchange exposed just how deep the school's corruption ran. Meanwhile, KOD attacked Jane's house, breaking windows, yelling threats, and trying to scare her. At the same time, a student who saw Mr. Sherman's murder decided to tell Smith the truth. She and a friend went to his house to share what they knew. Juan took the students hostage, waiting for Smith. Not knowing Smith was really Shale, the gang let him in. After a few fights, they overpowered him. Juan then called his boss and revealed Smith's true identity. Hearing this, the boss ordered Smith's immediate execution. This brutal attack showed the gang's ruthless determination to stay in control and silence their enemies. Just as Juan was about to shoot, the doorbell rang. It was the landlady. While Jane tried to send her away, Shale seized the moment, stabbing a guard in the leg and taking down most of the gang. But Shale couldn't save Jane as Juan held her at gunpoint, forcing him to surrender. Then, a student shot Juan, freeing Jane. With the chaos over, Smith turned his attention to Claude Roll, the mastermind setting up the final showdown. At the school, Smith and his allies prepared for the final battle to take back the campus from the KOD gang. A fierce fight broke out, turning classrooms into war zones, causing heavy losses and exposing the full damage caused by the gang's control. Despite heavy losses, Smith's team fought fiercely, taking out key members and weakening KOD's hold. Some allies made the ultimate sacrifice. One was shot in the head, while another blew himself up to stop the enemy. Amid the chaos, Roll appeared from hiding and shot Holland from behind, then waited to ambush Smith. Approaching carefully, Smith turned off the lights before revealing himself. A brutal fight broke out between Smith and a furious, desperate Roll. Smith landed tactical blows, but was shot in the shoulder only for Holland to quickly take down the shooter. With just Smith and Claude left, they faced off in a final battle. Claude grabbed a gun and demanded to know Smith's motives. Smith replied that some things can't be taught, then dealt the final blow, killing Claude. Shale left the school and found Joey injured but alive. In the end, only Smith and Joey survived. With the gang defeated and corruption gone, the school slowly recovered, and students and teachers regained a safe place to learn.